First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. For real, you the only father that I ever knew. I get my pregnant, I'ma be a better you. Prophecies that I made way back.
What's up? And we are in the Breakroom Podcast. Well, welcome back to the Breakroom Podcast. Where we do that. We are in the Breakroom Podcast. Again, welcome back to the Breakroom Podcast, episode 52, 52.
We got Seconde.
Yeah, bro. So, yeah, we back, man. And it was a cool finals. You know.
Shout out to us for being right.
Shout out to us for being right, bro. You know what
Warriors
I mean?
in 6.
Exactly. And Steph with his first finals MVP, bro, like.
He needed that. He needed that.
He needed that.
Because you know how last episode we were talking about he doesn't have that defining moment.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the finals MVP. Well, now he's got the MVP, you know, and within these finals.
Sorry, say it one more time. I hit the wrong mic.
I was saying, and within the finals, I mean, he had averaged 31, 6 boards, 5 assists, and had the marquee 43-point game in Game 4. Closed out with last night with 34, 7 and 7, and I mean the 3-point shooting. I mean he had 4 performances of shooting 50% or better from 3. I think he definitely deserved it, and I'm proud and happy that he did finally get his Finals MVP.
Yeah, same, bro. So Steph was going off this entire series, except for like that one game he didn't hit a 3. What was that, Game 5? And
yeah, went 0 for 9.
Yeah, and the team stepped up around him. You know what I mean? Which they kind of needed to, because I feel like he's for the most part carrying them games 1 through 4. So the team stepped up, came back, and then they closed out in Boston. So that's major for them, and it's just soul wrenching for the Celtics. Like you see. Tatum, we just talked about a pop off on occasion. You know what I mean?
Pop off on occasion, brother.
Yeah. So, bro, with this whole little thing he had, the whole Kobe thing, bro, and let his soul rest in peace. Like yeah. I'm tired of it.
Leave Kobe out of this. D-Book.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, just leave him out.
But hold on, I think all of them had the little 24 patch on their jersey. What was that? Like I saw Tatum, but I was like, okay, it's just a Kobe thing. Then I saw Jaylen Brown with. I'm like. I guess it's more Kobe stuff, but then all of them had it. I was like, bro.
Wait. Didn't they change? Aren't they changing the name of the MVP trophy to the Kobe Bryant award or whatever?
The Finals MVP, they're going to change to the Kobe Bryant award?
Or it was that for the All-Star game or something? I maybe had something, I don't know.
Okay. I don't know. I'm about to say, I didn't know about that.
No, I'm pretty sure that they're changing, they're giving Kobe an award, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think they're going to change it from a Bill Russell award.
Nah. I think it's the All-Star game.
All-Star game, okay.
Yeah.
And that's cool, man, but...
Yeah, it is the NBA All-Star game. Okay.
Okay. So with Steph winning this and finally putting these people to rest, telling them they needed KD and Steph is...
Everybody was talking that talk. They was trying to say, oh, your wife can't cook.
Yeah.
You can't do it if it's just y'all. Hey, Chef Curry.
And bro, it was perfect because it was against the Celtics, number 1 defense team in the league.
Yep.
And it ain't like
no excuses. It wasn't an easy win.
Yeah, no, they were balling. Like the Celtics were balling. Like Jaylen Brown. Side question: what do you think about this? The Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, the Batman and Robin thing. What do you think about that now? Because I said this last spot. Like Tatum only goes off for one half, and then he's quiet the other half.
Yeah, they definitely got some evaluating to do with that. I don't think it's as, cut as maybe people thought it originally would be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course it's Jason Tatum. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jaylen Brown plays meaningful basketball a lot. I just feel like you said, Jason Tatum doesn't do it as often as Jaylen Brown, but when Jason Tatum does do it, it looks better than Jaylen Brown. Okay,
very great point. Well said. So, I think what my original thought of the two was that, Jason Tatum's ceiling is a lot higher than Jaylen Brown's, right? He has the length, he can shoot, he can move just as quickly, he can do everything, you know what I mean? But, like you said, Jaylen Brown plays meaningful basketball. All his shots, you felt them, you know what I mean? Tatum's, all his shots were felt in the first quarter, and then after that, it was what?
Can we talk about the strategy that they had coming into the game?
What's up?
I don't know if you peeped this, but essentially, the first half of the first quarter, the Celtics were just working like a guard or like Jaylen Brown or Marcus Smart into the high post on Steph. They get him switched on to Steph, and then they get the ball and then start to run a set off of there. They were doing that, and that's why they started busting them by like double digits like in the first couple minutes of the game, because they was just having a hard time. And I understand that you can't sit there and run the same set constantly over and over and over again. Teams will adjust. But I feel like they kind of like fell off that game plan. Maybe Golden State started to adapt a little bit more, but I felt like they just kind of abandoned that a little prematurely, and that was really to me the big change. Because then the last 3 minutes of the first quarter, going into the second quarter, they ended up going on a 21-0 run, I believe.
Something like yeah. And bro, they fell into the trap of trying to shoot threes back and forth with the Warriors because they got into a huge deficit.
Yep.
And this is the main problem that I saw.
They get back every possession.
Yeah, this is the main problem that I saw with them. They kept trying to get the switch off on Steph because Steph is the smallest guy on the court. So they tried to put Steph in the post with their bigs with Al Horford and Robert Williams, and they weren't necessarily moving him as easily as they should have. Well, they weren't going for the two. And I was surprised because I saw Al Horford down there a few times with Steph, and he still wasn't backing him down. I'm like, bro, take him to the rack. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but they weren't doing it. And so they tried to play the quick game with them, trying to come back with threes and all that, but they weren't falling. And then so they abandoned the tools. They abandoned a gradual comeback, trying to go for the quick comeback. And I think that's what really hurt them in the end, because you're not going to got the greatest shooters of all time. You're not going to go back and forth with threes with them. So
yeah, I mean, basketball's a game of runs. You're not going to sit there and get it all back in one possession.
And we're talking about the number one momentum team in the league. Like, they will win off strictly momentum alone. So
oh yeah, they will deplete your energy.
Bro, every three from the Warriors feels like a dunk from Ja. Like, it's just every single time.
Or you can say Ja dunks are just like
or vice versa.
Because like those types of plays, not only are they like highlight plays, they look good, they're gonna make your team look bad, but dude, the energy just gets sucked out of the arena.
Yeah. Bro, did you see that one play? I think it was in the third. No, it was in the fourth. Draymond was just coming up court, and he just casually passes to Steph. He hasn't crossed his half court. He just pops it, just throws it up, and just
yeah.
The net hardly moves, and it's just.
This is one of those shots.
Back to D. Like,
I ain't gonna lie. The greatest shot I've like ever seen in the finals was like, as far as like just maybe not, it might have been like the sexiest thing, but like the shot that like was so memorable for me was when the Lakers were playing against the Magic. So I was living in Florida, so a lot of people were rooting for the Magic. I was like, nah, I want Kobe to get it, bro. Kobe hit this shot from like straight on three, and I'm pretty sure he kind of kicked his feet out a little bit, didn't have the room to land, but, back then that wasn't very much of a rule. The net did not move at all when he hit that. Do you know what shot I'm talking about? I don't remember what game it was or nothing.
Was it playoffs?
It was in the finals.
In the finals.
Against the Magic. And he hit a three, and the net did not move. He fell down on the ground, dramatic effect and everything.
What year was that?
Oh,
was that
that was one of my last. I feel like that was one of my last years in Florida. But, bro, that shot right there was just so
2009.
Like, 2009, y'all said that's like right before I moved out of Florida. Yeah. I mean, dude, that shot.
Bro, it's filthy because as soon as I pull it up, it shows that shot, like literally.
Oh, for real? Yeah. I'm telling you, like, the net did not move.
Bro.
I've never seen such a clean shot.
Bro, there's a few signature threes, like, I can just point out, like, okay, that's one. You obviously, for recent memory, the Dame went over OKC with Paul George. Oh, that is your squad.
Oh, yes, y'all can see this. Yes, now y'all can see I'm flicking them off.
Yes, he did that. That was filthy.
Hey, what about Dame over
the Rockets? It was over the Rockets.
Chandler Parsons. We were just talking about that. Man, how long ago was that, bro? It's been a long.
Yeah.
When was the last time you heard Chandler Parsons' name?
Yeah, it's been a little minute. It's been a long time.
It has.
What was another one? Steph over OKC again. Steph over a lot of teams. Steph, yeah. I mean, Game 6 Clay.
What about LeBron versus the Magic? That the three-pointer that he banked in, or D Rose
that bank shot. That
one was called. And then LeBron turned around the next game of the game, like 2 games after that, hit his game winner.
LeBron back when he went back to Cleveland, and he did it over, I want to say, the Pacers.
Oh, that floater?
No, not the floater. It was an inbound pass. And they gave it to him. It was in the playoffs, though.
It might have been the Raptors.
It was a Raptors. Then he did like a documentary of what
LeBron when he caught it in the corner, boom.
Boom. It was just...
Bro, the the poor Raptors. They had like, DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry at the time, but they just happened to run into LeBron in like the second round of the playoffs every year.
Bro,
it's unfortunate.
There needs to be a full documentary on that. The coaches have been fired because of LeBron just tormenting the Rockets. I mean, the Raptors. But so those of you, because you can't see, but also have a video going. We've been tooling some stuff in the lab. Been in the lab for y'all, so we got something going up right now. We got the podcast going, got the video going. Y'all see
trying to give it to y'all on every platform.
Yeah. So we're gonna get there, bro. And now to another question, right? Go and pose it for us, bro.
So this one, it's kind of a difficult think piece. Where does Steph Curry rank all time amongst point guards? I'll open the floor to you, my good sir.
You want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. I can't list them 1 through 5.
No. You just tell me where you put them.
Just my top 5.
And then what? It doesn't have to be top 5. Just where do you rank him?
Oh,
let's start there.
Steph is top 5.
Okay.
Steph is top 5. Just about ready to go say top 2.
Okay. I agree. I think he's top 2, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I just don't. So basically, the debate has come down to me as him and Magic, right?
Yes, that's it.
Well, let's kind of look over their resumes and stuff like that. So Magic, 5 NBA titles, 3 Finals MVPs, 9 All NBA First Team selections, 12 All Stars. Currently ranked 6th all time in assists. 22nd in steals. That's pretty much the notable things. And I mean, not only did he have those accolades, he was a huge icon. Back in the 80s and the 90s for the NBA. He kind of had the little swagger, that magic behind him. You're not a part of the Showtime Lakers, for no reason.
Thanks.
So let's compare that now to Steph's resume. So Steph, 4-time NBA champ, 2-time league MVP, the only unanimous MVP ever. Just got his first Finals MVP.
Side note to that, it should have been LeBron though. He got 1 vote that didn't give him the unanimous MVP back in, I can't remember what year it was, 2008 or something like that. But not trying to take away from Steph, but
oh brother, this guy stinks.
LeBron had 1 hater out there that didn't give him the 1 vote.
Yeah, if anybody's gonna have that hater, it's gonna be LeBron. All right, so he's an 8-time All NBA. He's a 2-time scoring champ. He's part of the 50-40-90 club, which is 50% from the field, 40% from 3, 90% from the free throw. He's an All NBA 75 team, which Magic is now part of as well. He's the all-time league leader in three points, and it's done in remarkable fashion.
Remarkable time.
And so obviously, he's the franchise leader, not just three-point shots, but points and assists in Golden State history, which is a long, withstanding franchise. So there's some things to nitpick at. I guess is more of kind of what you like. Do you value more of the personal success? Do you value more of the team success? To me, it's kind of a toss-up. But just as Magic had impact on the game, Steph has had possibly even bigger impact. And the way he has evolved, not just his game, but his game has since evolved the league, which is evolving the future of basketball and the way the game is being played on literally every single level. From Pee-wee to high school to your local LA Fitness.
Bro, literally. So, for me, it's, like I say, it's still a toss-up. Like, have you seen that Magic Johnson show on HBO Max?
Nah, I haven't. I need to watch it. I just don't have HBO Max right now.
Okay, so one is really good.
Winning Time?
Yes, it's really good, man. It gives a lot of insight on Magic and, just the time he came to the league. Also dips into Bird a little bit. They played each other for the college championship. Of course, Magic won, everything. Yeah,
outstanding rivals.
Exactly. And so it just talks about the impact that had on the league itself. You know what I mean? That's when the rivalry between the Lakers and the Celtics kind of built up, and it's still standing today. So. And I think just also, Jerry West at the time, who was the coach of the Lakers when Magic came to the league, didn't want him. Like a lot of people didn't want Magic. They wanted
too big.
They wanted Bird. Yeah. So like when Bird went, they just took Magic. Dr. West wanted Magic because Magic, and he wanted to build the Lakers and the brand of the Lakers, right? When I just think about all of that, we don't have a Steph documentary yet. We don't know.
Oh, we're going to get one.
We're going to get one in time. We're going to get one. But we don't know what that is yet.
But I think it's a lot easier to project that right now.
Yes, but we don't. But what I'm saying is we don't know Steph's full story. Like we got more Magic's now. The time has passed versus Steph, which is still going.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
For me right now, I'm probably gonna go with Magic just because he had to overcome a lot socially, like in the front office, versus I think then Steph had to, just because I don't know.
I mean, Steph did have injuries to overcome early on in his career.
Very true.
They almost moved off of him instead of Monte Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
But what team was the Mavs? I don't think they wanted. It might have been the Mavs. Whatever that trade package was that got Monte Ellis up out of Golden State, that team didn't want Steph because of his ankle problems. So the league could have been different. Monte Ellis could have been the face of the Warriors.
Very much could have been. Like I said, just me. Like overcoming injuries is a big thing, but I'm not gonna say it's like it's special for every player. I'm not trying to make it sound like injuries aren't significant, but at the same time, everybody deals with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's pretty universal across the league.
Yeah.
Versus
but Steph just had like the worst ankle in the world. It seemed like at a certain point.
Bro, not true. And but for Magic, I remember you see this on the show. He had some teammates. I can't remember his name right now, but. And I'm not trying to spoil the season for people who haven't seen it. But anyway, he played one of his teammates. They was like, oh, he's going to be the new point guard. And, a lot of teams were kind of doing that little rookie hazing or whatever. And it seemed like he just had to overcome a lot socially. Even though I'm pretty sure there was a little Hollywood spin on some of that.
You see, but I don't think – I get what you're saying, but I think you're leaving out the most important aspect of him overcoming social things was the fact that the dude literally has HIV and played in the league, like had to retire and then the whole situation because of that.
I was getting to that.
Yeah, that was the biggest part. Yeah. Okay.
We get into all that. I'm just talking about in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like Magic has a long history. You know what I mean? So
facts.
Also changing the whole point guard position with the passes and everything, then the whole HIV thing, and still carrying that. They didn't show any of like people what they were saying outside of basketball, but I'm pretty sure it's bad. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm sure that was the worst of it.
Exactly. So not just like fans, but teammates or other guys you play in the league. Like so, nah, man. So for me, it's probably with Magic right now. Steph is a close number 2. Now, if we just going on court, Steph's book is still being written.
That part. So I love playing devil's advocate, with you and stuff, but. I agree with you. I think as of right now, Magic is still number 1. But when it's all said and done, and Steph, puts the cap on the pen, closes the book, I mean, the only thing that I guess you're really is like the Finals MVP thing. It's like Steph has 1, Magic's got 3, now out of 5 rings, and Steph's got 1 out of the 4 rings. So I can see how that can be more of an issue for some people.
Yeah.
But statistically, I think Steph's going to be a little bit more dominant. I mean, he's already has the 3-point record, and he's going to. Yeah. I'm not saying double it, but like he's going to. It's going to multiply. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think as of right now, I would say Magic is number 1, and I would say Steph Curry, second best point guard of all time.
That's
right
fine.
Here.
I'm with that.
2022.
I'm with that. Hey, but we're going to finish our list up in just a minute. We're going to be right back in a couple of minutes, couple of seconds, whatever. So, yeah, man, follow us on the Breakroom, HOU on Twitter, and the.breakroom.podcast on Instagram, and the Breakroom Podcast 1 on Facebook, man. You can find us on all your platforms, wherever you get your podcast from. Follow me at 3the_King on Twitter. My boy Evan at
Evan Shumard.
So, yeah, man, we'll be right back in a little bit, man. Y'all take it easy.
And we're going to go ahead and conclude up the little conversation we were just having about, where does Steph rank all time? And we both unanimously have him at number 2 right now behind Magic. So if you had to kind of like round out a top 5, maybe not specifically in order, who would fill out that? Okay, so we got Magic, Steph, Isaiah Thomas. I can probably go
Nash and the last two are between. Actually, the last three are really tough. So I got the last three. I got Nash, I got Chris Paul, and I got Russell Westbrook.
So you've come around on Chris Paul actually being a top 5 point guard after we had a whole discussion about it.
He was right off. He was on my 6. He was the number 6. And I even thought about when you said Oscar Robertson last time. Then I thought about Russell Westbrook, and I was like, Russell Westbrook is a better Oscar Robertson.
Yeah, exactly.
So then I can't just ignore. Even though Russ had a tough season socially, in the media this season.
What do you mean by that?
But still get the same numbers. But whatever, I can't ignore what he's done. Granted, he has an MVP and Chris doesn't. Chris has, assist titles, and obviously Russ is the triple-double king. You know what I mean? So, but all those numbers don't equate to what Chris can do for your team. He makes you a competent team just by him being on the floor. Mm-hmm. And so it's tough. Also, Steve Nash has an MVP. You know what I mean? Also has assist titles and all this other stuff. So those are my 3. That one of them has to fall outside the 6, but I'm not really sure. Those are my bottom guys.
Fair enough, yeah. Those are guys that you're playing around with. Yeah, so if I had to go ahead and give a couple other names to kind of conclude that 5, I would probably say... All right, so I think Chris Paul's top 5. We've already established that. Man, I mean... Even though I just told you earlier, I don't really, respect too much of, the 60s and, basketball and, the part of the 70s and this and that. But, I mean, Jerry West is the logo. He's widely regarded as, one of the greatest players. So, I mean, out of respect, I'll put him there. Mm-hmm. I do agree with your Russell Westbrook and, Oscar Robertson thing, because it's, he's became more of what Oscar Robertson was and did it more consistently.
Yeah.
But I'm just not sure if I just don't think I feel comfortable saying Russell Westbrook's top 5.
Okay.
I would probably Steve Nash. See that's a name that I'm like, okay, hey, I might be able to mess with that, because Steve Nash was definitely a very, very good point guard. And I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anybody else. I mean, hey, hear me out. I'm not saying he is top 5, but a guy that should be in the conversation more that's not is definitely Tony Parker. I feel like he's very slept on.
I was actually thinking about him.
I feel like he's a very slept on.
He just don't have.
He's probably top 10. I just feel like his name has already been. I feel like he's already been forgotten about.
He's solidified in my top 10. He is.
I really cannot believe that. I feel like Tony Parker is becoming an afterthought.
I mean, when you play with Duncan, it's like. So, the people we named were the guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tony Parker, was a guy, but when you're talking about one of the best power forwards to ever play the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a little hard to when you're in the shadow.
Yeah.
But hey, it's not like he didn't have a big old shadow of his own for other people to follow behind too. So
true. We saw what they were when they left.
Well, it was fun.
Not anymore, though, is it? Is it?
No, not by
No, it's not fun anymore. Not even.
Well, the Spurs are off now, so.
Yeah. It's always funny whenever, teams and, players, once they move on from there, a lot of things can kind of be brought up later on. Mm-hmm. Some people, all the Spurs, everything's, we've heard nothing bad about Pop, no weird things. I've never heard about Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili, had some, ignorant beef or something like that.
Yeah.
But then the Celtics medical staff, I feel like, has just consistently been getting ripped for the last couple years.
Yes.
And Isaiah Thomas had a comment to make about how when Robert Williams was told by the Boston medical staff that his knee was fine to play on and everything, he literally tweeted, "I've heard that before, LOL." So I want to get your thoughts about that. Do you think Isaiah Thomas is petty, or you think he's in the right to make those comments?
Man,
because as we know, he had that huge hip injury and everything back when he was in Boston.
So I don't think he's being petty at all. I mean, it could be seen as that way, but at the same time, former player speaking on the matters of a current player, it's like when we see other podcasters complain about stuff or complain about advertisement or people they work with, things like that. It was like, hey, I know what you're talking about, I feel you. It's like you're not being petty. You're just like, I feel you. You know what I mean? Like you just pointed out, we do the same thing. I've been there before. Like you're trying to bring more attention to what they're talking about right now. So it's like it depends on who you're asking. For me, no, I don't think he's necessarily being petty. I think he's really just trying to bring more attention to it because it's not right to kind of not protect these guys. So. How about you?
Yeah, I don't think he's being petty at all. He's speaking his truth. And his hip injury and how it was mismanaged, mishandled, however, he feels, it derailed his career.
Yeah.
Straight up. So I believe he has every right to speak his truth, and I think his truth is, there might be more to it than it just being his side of the story.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Because we know teams a lot of times are just like, hey, go out there regardless. We don't care.
Yeah. It's a difference between being hurt and being injured.
That part.
Which
it
is fair.
I used to hate that philosophy, but I'm like, I see what you mean, but it's like, if I can't go, I can't go.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what you want to define it as, like, I can't go.
Yeah.
Fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
Oh man, I feel like I was traumatized. Like I just heard like a certain voice yell it. Like
Yeah, it is the old athletic trainers in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a dude named Doc, and then we had a female who was like his assistant. We called her Docette.
It's funny.
But anywho,
But yeah, bro, and
The Rockets though making some moves though, and I was. But before I give my thoughts on this trade, let me tell y'all what happened. So Christian Wood, who we thought would be a great piece to build around on this team. We talked about this before. If anybody was going to be moved, it would be Christian Wood. Yeah, just go ahead and just
gave him the boot.
talk about it. So the Dallas Mavericks have acquired Christian Wood straight up, and then now the Rockets will be receiving the 26th pick, which is the first-round pick this year, Boban Marjanovic. I had to make sure I said that right. The big old dude. Everybody's best friend, one of the largest Caucasians on this earth.
He like 7'4".
He is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's something like that. They got Trey Burke, Marquise Chris, and Sterling Brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and give my thoughts on this situation real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
I think that the Rockets got bamboozled. I think they could have gotten more.
Okay. That's true.
I think. All right, Boban. All right, so you got to replace like a big for a big. That makes sense. But the role that Christian Wood plays and Boban's going to play is like polar opposite roles.
True.
Trey Burke to me is like, he's a good like bench player. He's not going to be a huge difference maker. He can get buckets though. He can. Marquise Chris is kind of the same thing. It's like not much of a difference maker. And Sterling Brown is like, eh. The first round pick to me is like the best thing here, and I think Christian Wood is just worth more than the package that the Rockets got for him.
What I think it is, some of those guys have played here before already. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking they're probably just gonna flip them for something.
Yeah, wasn't
later.
Chris here for a little bit?
Yeah. And I'm thinking some of those guys we're just gonna flip later, for something else. I can't see into the future what it's gonna be, but I doubt that they traded them to get those guys back, which we already traded them away to keep them here. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure they might flip him for something. Raphael Stone, I don't think he's a bad GM. You know what I mean? I think he's far from bad. I think he's actually decent. I think he's pretty good. He fixed Daryl Morey's issues as soon as he left. So
yeah, I would have just liked to see a bigger name. I guess.
I feel that.
Like a Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yes. They
probably wouldn't have came off of Dinwiddie, but like, what about even like Dorian Finney-Smith? Give the Rockets another like big that can stretch the floor a little bit. Like Bullock, something like. I just feel like they just got the short end of the deal.
But at the same time, Christian Wood needed to be gone. Like, so think about all his. Let me list some of his on the court issues that he's had. Right, he's walked out of games. He's got into verbal arguments with the coach. Can't remember his name.
I can't remember the coach's name either.
Oh man,
I got it. Hold on.
He's got into verbal in-game arguments with the head coach,
Steven
Silas. There we go. He's got into verbal arguments with Steven Silas. Let me read to you his numbers, right? So, with the Rockets, here we go. First season, 41 games, and I'm looking for his
half the season.
Yep. and averaged 21 points, 1.2 blocks, averaged 2 turnovers, and about right around 8 rebounds a game. Solid. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, 21-8 and low 1.2.
Second season, about 18 points, about two turnovers a game, 1 block, about 1 steal, right around 10 rebounds. You know what I mean? And he played 68 games. Now, you think, oh, those numbers aren't so bad, but here's more of the on-the-court stuff that I'm going to talk about. Let's look at his injuries. So, from 2018, left middle finger. 2019, ankle. 2019, knee. 2020, knee. 2020, another 2020, right foot. 2021, knee. 2021, ankle. 2021, ankle. 2021, knee. 2021, ankle. 21, ankle. 21, ankle. 21, knee. 21, knee. 21, knee. Then 22, illness. That's a lot.
It's a long list.
That's a very, very long list.
That's like those CVS receipts. You know how they're like absurdly long?
Yeah.
It's like one of them.
He's not reliable. You know what I mean? So, like, I mean, I get, because he's a great player. Like, I remember when he first came from Detroit, I didn't know what he was going to have to be. I was like,
caught everybody by surprise over here in the age.
But he turned out pretty well when he did play. But he didn't play too many games. I just listed out all his injuries that he's had. That's a lot.
I mean, how many times is it the same thing? Ankle and knee.
Ankle, knee, ankle, knee, ankle, knee, ankle, knee.
It's like finger here.
Exactly. So, I mean, I see what the Rockets are getting at. I'm with you. I do wish it was for bigger pieces, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure this is something that Dallas probably brought up in the trade. Like, you're trying to get us, but at the same time, he hasn't played for y'all, so and it's been health. So why would we give you anybody who's reliable for somebody who's unreliable?
So would you, let's just say, rather scrap Marquise Chris and Sterling Brown for like just a Dorian Finney-Smith or a Reggie Bullock? Like something like that to more replace the role that he played?
Yes. But at the same time, like, the Rockets have no identity. Like, they aren't good at anything. They aren't good at points in the bucket. They aren't good at points outside. They aren't good at the mid-range. They got
guards that are electric.
Yeah.
But like, my thing is still now you took, all right, so now like the big man used to be like one of like the better pieces. Now to me that's like they've opened up a significant weakness.
Yeah.
Unless they think Sengun's gonna like turn up this year, which I think he can, but you still need like a
sure piece.
Yeah, like I was just gonna say, you just need like a veteran piece. Yeah.
I feel that. I believe in Sengun. I know you do too. I do get what you're saying about somebody who has somewhat of the same skill set as Wood, but they didn't get that. Now, the only thing I can kind of say in their defense is that, like I say, they have no identity. They aren't good at anything besides pushing the ball up court, running up and down the court. That's it. They're young. They're
gonna outrun you.
They're small, but we don't have the shooting to back it up. So it's like I think I know what they want to do, but at the same time, they just don't have that already. So, I mean, hopefully in the draft they'll address some defense, because I think you should probably start there a little bit. Everybody can play offense. The one thing everybody on the court can do is play defense. Everybody can't shoot. Everybody doesn't have a mid range. Everybody can't have a layup package, but everybody can play defense. So I think that's probably where they'll start. I think that's what they're looking at because Christian Wood isn't really good against big bigs, like other big bigs.
Yeah, like a true big.
Yeah. He's a bully. Like he's good against guys who are smaller than him. So I think that's just the one thing I was thinking about as far as them getting rid of him.
So what do you think their starting five might look like next year?
Ooh. Okay, Green, Sengun. I don't know how they feel about KPJ.
That part.
Yeah, I don't know how they feel about him.
Because I think him and Green, like their games are similar, but I feel like if they found a way to mesh it, it would be like
it'd be great.
Very electric.
Yes. Yeah, it'd be great. I think in the draft they might go for what's that forward? I can't remember his name.
Jabari Smith.
Yes.
Chet Holmgren.
Jabari.
Oh, okay, yeah, the one from Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the Rockets have the third pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's going to be between Paulo Banchero, Chet, and Jabari.
Yeah.
I think it'd probably be the three names.
I think if they get Jabari, they'll put him in the starting lineup.
See, I like his shooting. His shooting would be great.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would be a really good piece for the Rockets.
Yeah.
Especially for what they already have.
Definitely.
Because he's not like a mad handles type of dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got Jalen Green to do all that ISO and this and that, yada yada. So I like Jabari from Auburn.
Yeah, he's a great communicator on defense, and that's also what they need. As far as one more, that's a toss up. I want to see what they get for what's his name? Our vet that we had. I already forgot his name. What was his name?
Oh, Jason Tate?
No, I said vet.
Oh yeah, so he's not.
Sixth man of the year, former sixth man of the year.
Oh, Eric Gordon.
I
was thinking of a big. Yeah, Eric Gordon. Yeah,
I want to see what they get for Eric Gordon and what they get for John Wall. I mean, I doubt they get anything significant for John Wall, but I think if they package them together, maybe a draft pick or something, they'll get something, decent.
Yeah, I definitely think the future is still bright for the Rockets, even though I don't think they could have gotten as much as I would have liked for them to get.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the Deshaun thing. It was just like, I would have rather changed a couple of like the back end pieces to make me feel more comfortable with the trade. But I still think the future's absolutely bright for the Houston Rockets.
Definitely. Hey, and that's gonna wrap it off for this segment, man. We're gonna be right back with our last segment. So yeah, man. Hey, follow us on all our socials. The Breakroom HOU on Twitter, the.breakroom.podcast on Instagram, the Breakroom Podcast 1 on Facebook. Follow me, the last_ King on Twitter, and my boy Evan at
Evan Shumard. That's SHUMARD.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, we'll be right back. Yo, what's up? And we are back in the break room, man. Episode 52. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we are back on. You put me on the spot.
Nah,
hold on.
Yeah, he got it.
Cinq on deux.
Yeah.
I gotta think about it. It's because there's a certain point. Like I know it's in Spanish. I don't know where. It's like this
it
plus
changes.
this or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, hold on. Like it's this. Oh, and then we get to that.
See, that's what in Spanish it's like. You do 20. Then when you get to 30, it's 30 then something.
Mm-hmm.
31, 32. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what changes for Spanish.
It's too complex out here.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm done with it.
But let's go ahead and talk a little bit of NFL. Not too much going on. The Deshaun stuff still going on. Done talking about that. But really, the only super newsworthy things that have happened recently is a lot of coaches and teams have been getting fined and getting slapped down by the NFL for practice violations. So Ron Rivera and the Washington Commanders got fined $100,000 for excessive contact during their off-season drills. Lovie Smith and the Houston Texans, right just down the road, down 59 off of Kirby, $50,000 for prohibited one-on-ones during their OTAs. Prohibited one-on-ones. And then Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys got fined $100,000 and are losing OTA time for 2023 for practices that are deemed too physical by the league. So, $100,000 here, $100,000 there, $50,000 here. It's a lot of money for us, but for the NFL, it's like $50, $100 for them. Okay, yeah, it's like it's like paying $50 to get a boot off your car or something.
So what you think about that?
So, I understand it. It's too early for that, but it sounds so soft.
Yeah. Okay.
It sounds bad, but I understand that, like, dude, there's no need to be like doing heads up practice. But I want to know what they defined prohibited one-on-ones are for the Texans. Like, is that what you're not supposed to? Is there only so many you can do? Are you not allowed to do them at all? Like, I guess I'm not 100% in the know of what they violated. So I really want to know what specific drills violate these terms.
Yeah, man. And then something else I want to know is like who told.
So the NFL,
was the league office there?
You know how the UIL like stop? I mean, never mind. You didn't play, and you taps. You were part of taps, right?
Yeah, taps.
The taps ever have people come by, observe your practices and stuff. Oh, because at my high school, the UIL was always there, especially during 2 days. Oh, bro, they were there hawking us.
What?
Yeah, because and the thing that pissed me off the most is the year after we graduate, after we both graduated in 2016. Man, at my school, the next fall, dude, they had like literally like 1 day of padded practice, and we were in full pads every day. Like if we had a game on Saturday, on Monday for practice, we'd be in shells, just shorts and helmets and shoulder pads. Like that, full pads every day, full contact.
See, and you know the thing was, I never knew it was like a designated thing. I used to think it was because I remember how did it go? We went Monday was full pads. Tuesday, I think again was full pads. Wednesday was shells. Then Thursday was like just almost nothing again, like just helmet or something.
Yeah, because
I'm trying to remember.
We did shells on Thursday because JV would be playing their game, so we would just kind of like go against each other. Yeah, we were in shells on Thursday before Fridays. But regardless, why are we? There's no need like to be heads up every single day. Like,
it's not.
Like full pads. That's so excessive. It's how so many people get hurt.
Yeah.
So I understand why it is a thing and it's great for the players, but I just feel like excessive contact in drills is just, you just hate to see it because at the end of the day it is football.
Yeah.
But it's still OTAs. Like we're not even in training camp yet.
Yeah. And you know, when you first brought this up, I was like, Ron Rivera? Yeah, I was surprised that he even let that like slip. You know what I mean? Like Ron Rivera, you know, all of you know Ron Rivera, highly regarded coach in the NFL, highly respected, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I'm about to say everybody is except for Mike McCarthy, but I mean, depending on how you feel about him and what you think about how competent he is as a coach, that's
that part.
That's up to you. But all these guys are championship guys, except for Ron Rivera, not as a head coach, but
yeah, I mean, he's made it to a Super Bowl.
He's made it to a Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean,
so I got a question. Out of these three reasons, which do you think is like the most petty?
Oh, the what's it called?
So out of excessive contact in drills, prohibited one-on-ones, or practice is deemed too physical?
Excessive contact in drills. It's football. You have to touch somebody. You just have to. You can't get it's all fits. You have to.
Yeah. I think that one is probably the worst because like prohibited one-on-ones, they probably knew they weren't supposed to do that. Now, practice is deemed too physical. That's like a whole like accumulation of things, which I feel like is why the Cowboys are being hit the hardest. They did get fined $100K just like the Commanders did, but they're losing like OTA practices next year.
Yeah.
So I think that since they're like the worst violators, that I would definitely say that the Commanders $100K for excessive contact in drills, unless they're just going heads up and smoking each other. But I seriously doubt that's what it is. I just think, like you said, it's the end of the day. If you're a defensive line, you're not going to get any better if you're not going, you working with your hands, working with the guy in front of you, giving you a look.
You physically have to touch somebody. Yeah. Every play.
So, as a defensive lineman, I think like walkthrough stuff with no helmets has got to be the worst, right?
Stuff with no helmets, yeah, bro, because it's so. Stuff with no helmets is so petty because, like, you can't.
It's a receiver's dream.
Bro,
we're not getting touched. Thank you, God.
It's so petty. When you're working with O-line, and O-line are so extra, bro. Like, when you put your hands on them, and it's like, you don't have pads on, so you can't, like, really do a move. So if they give a little amount of effort, exactly.
Let's go grab you up here.
They're doing.
You know how many camps I've been to this off season for all these high school camps and stuff, and great competition too. I mean, I'm not talking about these are just no slugs. No, these are some of the best dudes out here in the state. I've seen shirts getting ripped.
So they're doing
this, that. It's like, oh man, like I get it, but it's excessive.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about whenever I'm a wide receiver and I'm running, and the DB's grabbing at my hip and pulling on my jersey stuff, and I'm running. So for people on the camera, when you run like, well, imagine I'm standing up, but I'm sitting there running the whole time, just smack their wrist so I can run. Get you off of me.
So
it's annoying.
So hold on. So did you like no pass with as a receiver?
Oh, bro, it's the greatest thing ever. I'm not getting touched, even if it's like a press. It's like not a hard look. I know I can go across the middle and not worry about my soul being evaporated from my body. Hey, shells, Justin, when you're the helmets 7-on-7, receivers' dreams.
Bro.
Now, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy 11-on-11. Obviously, I did because that's the game of football. But there's just, you got to keep your head on the swivel. A little more concern in the air.
Yeah, bro. I just hate it. Like, I hate it when it's not pads or anything, when it's no pads and it's clean. Going like.
I bet you're one of those guys that's like Oklahoma Day. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, here we go.
O-line and D-line, bro. When you do no pass, so it's, and you got your DC or your D-line coach, get around him. It's like, bro, if I go
I'm not trying to bash my head into his nose.
Exactly, but you have to, like, if you were to go hard, somebody's getting hurt. Like, you just can't. Yeah. So, but you know how it is. You know how coaches be.
And I get it. I feel like we're now just kind of getting into a balance to where it used to be just a straight-up coach's world. Go back and watch the old Hard Knocks. That's one thing I noticed. The last 2 seasons of, like, the Hard Knocks, and I remember, like, the old Ravens one, the old Bengals one, the old Cowboys one. It's like they were hitting like almost every single day, like full pads. I'm like, that's not football no more. Yeah. Because people want to see that for the whole regular season. So, you got to kind of compromise, and I feel like the players are starting to get in their way, which I feel like is the correct way.
It's good.
Yeah. So it's good for the league, but sucks for the Commanders, Cowboys, and the Texans.
Yeah, bro. So moving on to the last thing. Who's hot, who's not, bro?
Hey. Go on and tell people who hot.
So for who's hot, man, look into the camera, bro. Look into the camera. I gotta put my hat back. I gotta put my hat backwards.
Hey, hold on. Let's get.
Yeah. It's us, man.
It's us. A little hot in here.
It's us. It's
so
us.
Hot,
It's the Breakroom. We called it Warriors and 6, man.
Yes,
we called it after the Eastern Conference Finals. If you didn't see the post, go check it out, man. It's on the page.
Hour after it concluded.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sensational.
We called them the 6. We said it.
We like that.
Yeah. Listen here, man. You get it here first.
Yeah. Hey, listen. You come here. You're gonna get a couple things.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some entertainment.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some knowledge.
Yeah.
And guess what? You're gonna get greatness. That's what we do. We
Yeah. So
little Chef Curry going on right now since we had to get him.
All that, man. With the Finals MVP. So yeah, man. It's us for who's hot, man. The Breakroom. I'm about to say, what's that thing? That super hot fire, that dude that be
Really him. You're a victim. There we go, CSI.
Yeah.
Man's not hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, the man's who's not hot is Jason Tatum. Not because he lost the finals. It's just because of his Kobe antics. Like, he's trying to be Kobe. Stop trying to be Kobe. I think Kobe, like, his game, you can try to mimic his, moves. Post, fade away, baseline, all this and that. You can't mimic the Mamba mentality.
Instead of looking for the Kobe blessing, let's address the Kobe curse. You know what I mean? Like the two.
Kobe curse. Hold on.
Yes, the Kobe curse. So Kobe is one of a kind. You know what I mean? Granted, if you want to say he was like Jordan, whatever. One of a kind. There was one Kobe Bryant. One Mamba. One Black Mamba. 24. One.
And 8.
Yeah. And 8.
Froby, the Bean.
Froby. Yeah. So, but then you have these imitators. You got Devin Booker, and then you got Jason Tatum, man. There's probably some other guys.
These false idols.
You know what I mean? So these false prophets, they just, every time they've tried to do the Kobe thing.
False Prophets by J. Cole will be the concluding song to this.
Absolutely. They've lost the finals. So, this has been 2 times now.
In a row.
You had it with Devin Booker and the Suns.
Stop trying to be Kobe.
Stop trying to be Kobe. You have it Jason Tatum in the Celtics.
It's like, all right, when Jason Tatum sent that text, it's like, all right, bro, you got your one. You won your game 7. Like, don't go to the well too often because it's gonna run dry.
What happened? Hold on. Did the Bucks win in 6 last time?
When you say last, what do you mean?
The finals last year was it 6 or 7?
I want to say it was 6.
I can't remember.
Dude, I want to say, that's a great call. I think it was 6. Yeah, I can't exactly remember.
It was in 6.
All right, yeah.
Both have lost in 6.
You what?
What?
I'm pointing at the camera.
No more false
Both
prophets out here.
have lost in 6. Do not try to be Kobe. You are not him. You are not him.
Be the best version of Jason Tatum you can be.
That's it. Come on, D-Book. Be the best D-Book you can be. Be the best JT you can be. That's been all. That's all for the break room, man. Episode 52. 40. No, that's 40. 52.
52.
Yeah, man. So y'all take it easy, man. This has been all for the Breakroom Podcast, man. Follow us on the Breakroom HRU on Twitter, the.breakroom.podcast on Instagram, and the Breakroom Podcast 1 on Facebook. Follow me, _King on Twitter, and boy Evan
Shumard.
So yeah, man. Y'all take it easy, man. See y'all next time.
Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this, be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this. False prophets. Somebody should have told me it would be like this.